I'm very, very excited. Yeah, I hit record. Thanks, Gina. I'm very excited to welcome you all to this this team call, this webinar. So you are a coach, and now what? So I've designed this specifically for those of you that are brand new to Beachbody coaching. I'm going to assume that this is all new to you, that you are just sort of learning the ropes a little bit. And I'm going to try to not assume that you know anything really here, so that I can break everything down to its most basic level for you. And by the end of this, hopefully you have a really good plan and a good framework as far as where to go with your business and taking those first steps to make you a successful Beachbody coach. Sound good? That's the plan. All right. So, all right, let's get going here. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm not going to go through my whole story, but just very briefly. My story with Beachbody started a couple years ago. I was looking for something to do for my own fitness. At the time, I wasn't in great shape. My kids were getting on my case about not having the energy to play with them the way they wanted me to. I was looking for something to do. Make a long story short, a colleague at work told me about P90X. I had never heard of it before, but I was intrigued enough that I went, did some research, found the program, thought I was not fit enough to do it, did Power 90, the beginner version, which has now, of course, been replaced by P90, and had amazing results. And when I saw how good the results were from those programs, I've become a lifer pretty much with Beachbody since that time. I've done a whole bunch of the programs. I love it. And now what I've done is I've become a Beachbody coach because I want to share that opportunity with other people, help people to get fit, active, healthy, and have these positive changes in their lifestyle that I had. Long story short, okay? But this has been an absolutely life-changing experience for me. I'm so excited that all of you new coaches here are here to join us on this journey. This truly is an unbelievable opportunity from a personal lifestyle perspective, but also the potential is there for this to be an amazing financial opportunity for you as well. If you're willing to learn what I'm going to teach you, as well as go on to continue to learn about Beachbody coaching and make a commitment to make these changes in your life. So let's talk business. This is going to be, I'm going to try to keep this very practical, give you the nuts and bolts that you need to take off with your business. And these are some of the things that I want to talk about today. Some of the key concepts that I think are really important for a new coach to understand. I'm going to talk a little bit about owning your business. I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of the ranks and the compensation plan, because that can be a little bit confusing for some people. I want to talk about challenge groups and how incredibly important challenge groups are to being a successful Beachbody coach. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on. I really want to emphasize that. It's key. It's absolutely key. I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of what the life cycle is. How does somebody become a customer? How does somebody become a coach? And how do those sort of interplay? And it's very interesting because a lot of the very successful Beachbody coaches, not all, but a lot of the very successful Beachbody coaches start out as customers first. That was my case. And you get a chance to really understand what Beachbody is about from the customer perspective before you become the coach. So I'll talk a little about that. 3 vital behaviors, incredibly important as well. For those of you that have gone through the online training academy, I'm sure that you've read about the 3 vital behaviors, and I want to emphasize that a little bit as well. Placement is always a very confusing concept for people. Where do you place coaches when you have people join your team? On the right leg, on the left leg, there's a strong leg, there's a weak leg. So I want to tell you a little bit about some of the early priorities that you should have as far as placement of your coaches. I want to talk a little bit about Success Club. You may or may not have heard of that at this point. And then Success Starters, which is a relatively new program, but it's a really cool program. And it's one of the only ways that people, it seems like, can get to Coach Summit, which I'll talk about. So having said that, let's start with owning your business. So boom, you are a business owner, all right? And it's important that you start thinking about it like this. You are a business owner. What was your investment cost to become a business owner? You potentially paid $39.95 with the coach sign-up fee to own your business, or potentially this is a free business to you if you had your coach fee waived when you got a challenge pack, okay? So first of all, just think about this. Can you think of any other business where you can own a business for $39.95 or for free, okay? So the risk in this is so little, but there's a catch to that, and it's sort of a psychological catch in terms of how you're willing to approach your business. So I'll come back to that. But if you look at that picture of that guy down there, if you can think of any other business, would anybody open a business or pay an investment into a business and then just sit there and expect people to come and with a business to pour into them, or in the case of Beachbody coaching, to have challengers come and pour into you? It doesn't happen. The last thing you want to do is be that guy that's just sitting there waiting for something to happen. You absolutely must be proactive in this. That is the key to success. If you're not taking action, and we'll get into this a little bit later with the 3 vital behaviors, personal development, inviting, and being a product of the product, your chances of success are very, very small, okay? So to break this down a little bit further, you're now a business owner. So as I said, you've invested $39.95, or it was free, to start your business, and now you've got a $15.95 per month operating cost. If you think about what that includes, I'm surprised they don't charge more than that, because it includes everything from your inventory, your shipping, your customer service. Hopefully you don't have a lot of these, but it covers returns. It covers your accounting, in the sense they keep track of all of your challenge pack sales and your commission, keeps track, and they deposit your money. They do all your advertising for you, in the sense that they have the infomercials on TV. So if you think about this, again, compared to other businesses, what your operating cost would be per month, for $16, it is ridiculous what you're getting, the value that you're getting for that. So if you think about that, over the course of 6 months, your investment, or your risk, if you want to think of it that way, your financial risk, is $120. It is ridiculous. So there is no other business where you can invest so little and have the potential to earn so much, okay? So I just want to compare this to a franchise, for example. Okay, so what is a franchise? A franchise is a company that someone can buy into, and when they pay for that franchise, they get access to sort of a manual, some training manual, the opportunity to use that brand's name for advertising, the products that company has. So for example, some franchises, things like 7-Eleven, there's a whole bunch, a lot of the fast food restaurants and that sort of thing. So let's have a look at this. I took this slide off of entrepreneur.com. These are the top 10 franchises that they ranked for 2014. And I want you to look at the startup costs. Hopefully you can read that. So let's just go down the list. Anytime Fitness, your startup costs range between $79,000 and $371,000. Okay? Look at hotel, $3.69 million. Okay? Subway, $117,000. And it goes on and on and on. 7-Eleven is there. That's probably the cheapest one at $37,000, up to $1.63 million. Okay? I would argue that what we have in Beachbody is a lot better for a person in terms of their health and their fitness than a 7-Eleven franchise. Okay? And again, when you compare this, so the prices range again from, let's say, $37,000 to, at the high end, the Hampton Hotel franchise, $13 million, and paid $39.95. And I would argue that if you are committed to this and you take this very, very seriously and you learn what you need to learn, that the potential is there to be very successful personally. It's extremely rewarding, but also financially, with an unbelievable low risk. And as I was saying, there's a catch to this, because what happens is people come into this and they say, okay, well, it cost me $40, so I don't have a lot to lose, so I'm going to give it a try, and that's it. But I can tell you, if you come into the business with that kind of attitude, well, okay, I'll see what happens. I put in $40. Chances are you're not going to be too successful, quite frankly. But if you come into this business thinking, look, I got a really good deal getting into this business for $40, but I'm going to treat this like $1 million business from day number one, and treat it like how you would if you had just bought into a 7-Eleven or a fitness chain or a hotel chain, your chances of success are, immeasurably better than if you just kind of treat it like a hobby. So it's just something I want you to keep in mind. I think it's really important to have that mindset right from the outset. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Okay. So, so you're a business owner. Now let's talk about, so what does it actually mean to be a coach? Well, there's a couple of different rankings here that you may have heard of, and I want to explain to you very briefly kind of what that means. When somebody comes in to become a Beachbody coach, they start as, quote, a coach. And what that means is they have an opportunity to earn money through commissions that are paid weekly. And that is the best way to start earning money most quickly. And that's by selling challenge packs, selling Shakeology, and you make a commission. Okay. As you've been at this for a while and you start to grow your own team, the first step up in the rank is an Emerald coach. And that's when you've got one personally sponsored coach on each one of your legs. And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go forward. But the key thing here is once you become an Emerald coach, you now open up a completely new level of compensation within Beachbody. And those are the team cycle bonuses. So what that means is that you now earn a percentage of income based on what your team of coaches is doing as well. So you still got your commissions, but now you're adding on the team bonuses. As a Ruby coach, you now have 2 Emerald coaches, one on each leg, and an extra coach. And what that means is that you now get everything that an Emerald coach has, but in addition, you get a matching bonus. So not only are you getting team cycle bonuses from your team, but then you're getting a percentage of what your coach's team cycle bonus is. So it becomes exponential. And then as a diamond coach, when you've got 2 Emerald coaches on each leg and then 3 more coaches, that percentage of the matching bonus goes up and you're eligible for other bonuses as your diamond rank goes up too. When you get to 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, 15-star, you then have access to other bonuses. So there's more and more elements to the compensation plan that are opened up to you as the rank goes up. So I'm going to give you some concrete examples so you can see what does this look like. So this I think was the first time I was paid actually as a coach. And you can see, and these are weekly numbers. You can see that this particular week I made $32.49. And I think that was probably because I sold a challenge pack to my wife or something like that. And so you'll see that all of these other lines, the subscription commission, team bonus, matching bonus, etc., they're all 0. Okay. As we move forward and I became an Emerald coach, so I've got a coach on either leg now. So I've got one, there's myself, and I've got a coach on the left and a coach on the right. I've now opened up that team bonus compensation level. And so what that means is now, as the coaches on my team are also earning volume in terms of their sales, I'm getting a bonus on that. I don't want to get into too much detail. It's not that important to understand at this point how the volume works, other than the fact to say that as your team grows, you are going to be earning bonuses on what they're doing. So you can see there, I've got a team bonus of $28 as an Emerald coach this particular week. And my retail commission has gone up a little bit. I've gotten a little bit better and a little more confident in my ability to sell a challenge pack. As a Ruby coach, you can now see that, well, first of all, what is required of a Ruby coach, there's you've got an Emerald on either leg and a coach on either leg. And now you can see that I've got my retail commission, which is actually pretty similar to the one as an Emerald coach, but my team bonus is starting to go up. And that's the key with Beachbody. That's where you really start to see the residual income that can grow over time as you develop a team. And now I've opened up the next line, the matching bonus, which is like I said, when my coaches in my downline, in my organization, as they start to earn their team bonuses, I'm now getting a percentage of their team bonus as a matching bonus. Hopefully everybody's still with me. I know it can get a little complicated. And then finally, this is one of the first weeks when I was a diamond. And you can see what's required to be a diamond as far as the coaching. But now you'll notice something is that my retail commission is still pretty similar. So I'm not selling any more challenge packs per week. What's significant is that my team bonus has gone up significantly. There's the matching bonus, and as well, there's these other things at the bottom there. You'll see the fast start bonuses, and that has to do with how many challengers or coaches sign up in a particular period. If you sign up 5 within a 5-week period, you actually get an extra bonus as well. But the point that I really want to make here is that it's the team bonus that really has the potential to grow over time, whereas my retail commission hasn't really changed that much. So it's not like I'm selling more challenge packs. I'm still going out and and enjoying talking to people and connecting with them and finding out what their challenges are and how I can best help them and recommending challenge packs. But at the same time, my focus is also really on helping my team now and helping them to grow as a coach. And by doing that, I help them to grow their own teams, their bonuses go up, and my bonuses go up, and my sponsor coaches' bonuses go up. And that's the beauty of this. We're all in here together trying to help each other to all grow all of our teams. So hopefully that gives you some real concrete examples of what the potential is here. Now, I'm a very analytical guy. So bear with me here. I'm going to show you a little graph. I've only got one slide with a graph. And for those of you that like graphs, you'll like this. If you don't like graphs, so just ignore it. Here we go. When I saw this graph, it really kind of hit home what the potential is with Beachbody. Okay, if you think about the average job that most people have, where they're trading a certain number of hours for a certain amount of income, what they're doing is they're working along that fixed line. Okay, so if they put in however many hours a week, they get paid a certain number of dollars. They put in the second week, they put in that same number of hours, they get paid the same number of dollars. So that means that their income doubles. Makes sense. The third week, their income triples. And that's basically what that fixed line shows, okay? That the income is growing at a linear rate. What's really interesting with Beachbody is that when you start, obviously you're not making the same kind of income that you are in your full-time job at the time. Your income is very, very low as a Beachbody coach when you first start. That's the way this works, okay? So you can see that the line is much lower. What you'll also notice is that it takes time for that line to start take off. But as you stay consistent at this and do the 3 vital behaviors and you invite people, that line eventually starts to take off, and that's where you start to see the benefits of the residual income. So what's really unfortunate is that that's where people lose patience in this, is that they put in hours of effort and they say, you know what, I've been doing this for a month, I've been doing this for 2 months, maybe even I'm doing it for 3 months, and I've seen like, oh, I've made $32. I've made $100. Like, come on, what's going on here? What they don't realize is that gradually, as they continue to be consistent, their income is hopefully it's going to increase if they're doing the right kind of behaviors. But the rate at which the income is going up is also potentially increasing. And so unfortunately, a lot of people will lose patience, and if they quit, it tends to be around the time when the income was about to take off, and they lose their patience and they're done. And so if you can keep this in mind as a new coach, that it takes time to establish yourself. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, and anybody that tells you that is lying. It takes time, but then if you're willing to put in the effort, the potential is amazing. It truly is amazing. So I'm sure you've all had experiences, or you've heard of coaches that have quit their full-time jobs. So typically that's when they hit that point. Their residual income is starting to take off to the point that they are now matching what they're making in their fixed income. And at this point, it makes sense if they want to quit their quote old regular job and do Beachbody full time. And in fact, the Beachbody income will continue to increase exponentially. A couple other things about this, which is really neat. If you've got a fixed income and for some reason you stop working, or you lose your job, or there's some kind of tragedy, or whatever the case may be, hopefully none of that ever happens. But the point is that if you ever stop working for any reason, that fixed income stops. With residual income, if you were to take a break from Beachbody coaching, that income would still grow. So the opportunity is amazing, and that's where you really see the benefit, right? Is once you reach that point after putting in the time to establish yourself as a successful, serious, professional Beachbody coach, the opportunity is remarkable. Okay, so hopefully I didn't overload you with too many graphs there, but that picture really kind of solidified in my mind the natural growth of what happens with a Beachbody coach. Okay, so I'm gonna leave graphs now. So it's very common for a new coach to feel very overwhelmed. I did too at the beginning. There's all these terms being thrown around, right? Emerald coaching, placement, TV, PV, left leg, all this stuff, okay? And yes, over time, you will learn what each of those things mean. But I want to break it down to you and tell you what are the key terms that you need to know right now and what can you just leave for now, because what's more important is to start doing the vital behaviors instead of sitting down and researching and never actually get started with coaching. Okay. So the number one goal as a Beachbody coach is to become an apprentice coach. And I have to give credit to the appropriate people where credit's due. I learned this stuff from my sponsor coach, Scotty Hobbs, and from his sponsor coach, Lindsay Matway. And what's really neat about this is that I'm in the opportunity now to teach this to you. And what I hope is that you can then take this, and as you grow in your own teams, is that you can take this presentation and you can maybe change it to your own style, but you can then teach this to your own team. Okay. And that's another one of the beautiful, like one of the great things of Beachbody coaching is that we're here again to help each other and make sure that everybody is as successful as they can be. So this is something, like I said, that I learned from my sponsor coaches. But basically, the number one goal for a coach when you're starting out is to find 1 to 3 people to join your sponsor's coach in your next challenge group. So for me, I encourage my coaches to, I tell them when my next challenge group is going to be, and I have them find 1 to 3 people to join my next challenge group as an apprentice coach. Okay. As some of you may know, it was in my bio at the beginning there, I'm a physician. And we have this, when I was in medical school, we have this way of the saying that we use when we're learning a new skill. And we say, for example, if we're going to learn how to stitch up a cut finger, we say you see one, you do one, and then you teach one. And that's what I find so amazing about this, because this has a very similar approach. So as an apprentice coach, a coach has an opportunity to come and see how you're running a challenge group, help you run the challenge group to do it, so to speak, and then to teach it, to then go on and teach their coaches to be a mentor to their apprentice coaches. So how do you actually do this? How do you find 3 people to join your sponsor's coach, and how do you be an apprentice coach? Well, you may have seen this post before, because this is something that Lindsay Matway is often saying. It's as simple as putting out a Facebook post, and this is a sample text that you can take. You can use it, you can edit it, make it to your own style. But just something like this, you put on, I'm so excited. I got selected to be an apprentice coach in my coach, Terry Fisher's fitness challenge, the same challenge that has helped me too. And you can put in your own results if you've already had some results as a customer. If not, you could, with permission from your sponsor coach, find maybe a fitness transformation picture of another person or that sort of thing. And then you go on and you say, I was also told that I can select 3 people to do the challenge along with me. If you think it might be something that you're interested in and would like to be considered, like or comment below, and I will send you the details. Hurry, though, I only have 3 days to choose. Simple as that, okay? And then hopefully by doing this, you get some interest. I don't want to get too bogged down in the invite process here, because I've got a lot of information to get through. But from there, you can start having conversations about connecting with the person, finding out what their goals are, what their struggles are, and how a challenge group can help them. Okay. And of course, your sponsor coach would always be more than willing to have discussions with you and give you some advice in terms of how to approach those conversations. I want to give you a little bit of warning, because a lot of coaches get discouraged when they first start and they say, oh, I put this out and I got a bunch of no's. Nobody's interested. That is completely normal. Okay. I can't tell you how many no's I got today. Like every day I get no's. That is what this is about. What makes you successful is getting past those no's and moving on to the next potential person that you can help. When I first started and I got a no, it's natural. I felt upset about it. You sort of get emotionally involved with that, in the sense that, oh, I really want to get this challenger. My perspective has changed. And now when I get a no, the way I think of it is actually, okay, it frees up my time to actually go and talk to somebody else. That's the way I think of it now. So accept those no's. The point of this picture is to show you, though, that by inviting a person, you have planted a seed. Day one, you've planted a seed about what you do, what you can offer, and what you can do to help them achieve their goals. And they will watch you over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and they'll see what you're doing, and they'll follow you. And that's why being a product of the product is so important too. And it is extremely common. I can't tell you how many times it's happened to me, where somebody that said no to me comes back, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 months later, and they say, you know what, I've been watching what you're doing. I'm ready. Tell me more about this challenge group. I want to join the challenge group. Okay. And so something to keep in mind, when you get those no's, it's natural to feel discouraged, particularly at the beginning. I say, you may have heard of the book, Go for No. It's all about getting tons of no's, because the more no's you get, the closer you are to the next yes. Okay. And I truly believe that. And that sort of has been my attitude now when I get the no's. All right. So, that's what we're doing for time. Oh my goodness, we gotta move here. I got so much to get through. I have so much content here. Okay, here we go. So, this is the life cycle. Some of you may have started as challengers. Some of you may have started as coaches. I'm gonna sort of go through the beginning so you can kind of see what happens here. I think the best way of bringing a coach into Beachbody is by having them aware of the fitness programs, and ideally having that person have great success with them. Now, obviously there are people that want to sign up as a coach, and that's great. But if they sign up as a challenger, what happens is they may join a challenge group as a new challenger, and they may be a little bit skeptical at that time too. They're not sure. But about 30 days into that challenge, if they're being consistent with their workouts and their Shakeology, they're starting to see results. And they're starting to, believe in the process and seeing that this really works. And they may even be starting to share about what they're doing. Hey, I'm doing this P90X thing, and it seems to be going pretty well. Towards the end of the challenge, if they've been consistent with it again, the challenge ends, and usually, again, if they've been consistent with their diet and their healthy eating and Shakeology and their workouts, they've had great results. And so they personally know that the programs work, that Shakeology is beneficial, and if they're interested in becoming a coach, it's almost a natural transition to become a coach. And so for people in my challenge groups in particular, when I see that people are very engaged in the process and commenting and very interested in what's going on with the other challengers, those are the people that I approach about 30 days into the challenge group and say, hey, look at this. You're really helping to motivate people. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? And I just kind of plant that seed. And it kind of moves from there. And now over the next sort of 30 to 60 days, we have that discussion. It's a process. It's not something that happens all of a sudden to have a coach join your team. And then what happens? They become a coach. And this kind of gets into what we talked about. So as far as the coach life cycle, you're a new coach. I encourage my coaches to, as quickly as possible, become an apprentice coach. So that they join me, help me to run my challenge groups. They bring their new challengers into the challenge group, and we do it together. And it's a chance for them to see what I'm doing and to learn what I'm doing and to take on more and more of a role as they're comfortable doing that. Once that challenge group has finished and they've got those skills and they've got the confidence, they can then go on and become an independent coach and run their own challenge groups. And as they start to grow their team, they become a mentor coach. And so they now are a mentor coach, and they're bringing in their own new coaches who are their apprentice coaches. And the really nice thing about this is so easy to duplicate. And it's so easy to grow a team by following this method. So if you keep this framework as well in mind as far as growing your team and growing coaches and transitioning from a challenger to a coach to an apprentice coach to an independent coach and then mentoring coaches, I think it really gives you a good framework to go on. Okay? So, gotta keep moving here. So 3 critical action steps as a coach. Hopefully, a lot of you are familiar with this already, but these are the 3 vital behaviors. These are so key, absolutely essential. So the first one is invite. I was at a talk here, there's an event here in Vancouver with Carl Deichler, and he was saying that invite is almost a little bit of a misnomer. He almost wonders if they should have named it connect. Because you don't go out and you just say to somebody, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach, join my challenge group. Right? Like, it'll scare people away. What you want to do is to connect with people. So, for example, I'm going to save my example just for a little later because I'm going to come back to something. But the point here is that you want to connect with people, make that personal connection, maybe find something in common. You start discussing what they enjoy doing, what their struggles are, and then eventually you go to the invite process. And that way the person feels that you genuinely are interested in them and that you genuinely want to help them and help them achieve their goals. And that is the best way to invite. Connect and then invite, okay? Number 2, be proof the product works. You got to do your workouts. You got to drink Shakeology. Nobody's going to want to follow somebody that isn't believing or using these products on their own. It just makes sense. When you do the workouts, when you drink Shakeology, you will have results. People will want to follow you when they see the kind of results you're having. You will be inspirational to them. You'll be motivational to them. And that's all part of this process as well. And personal development. Personal development is so important as a coach. Whenever you're learning any skill, never mind Beachbody coaching, you have to learn how to do it, right? You don't just know it all of a sudden. So you take anything, whether it be learning how to play hockey, you got to learn how to skate, you got to learn the skills. Whether it be taking a course, you got to study, you got to learn the skills. It's the same with Beachbody coaching. You don't come in knowing how to be a Beachbody coach. There are so many different aspects of coaching that you can learn. You can learn about how to strengthen your ability to interact with people, how to communicate, how maybe some concrete skills on how to be better at social media, how to be a better leader. There's so many things. And you know what? Don't get caught up on, well, which do I do first? It doesn't matter. Pick one and do it. And when you've covered that, when you read that book, do the next one. The point is always be improving yourself, always be learning new skills. And I can tell you from personal experience, as I've done that, I can then apply those skills to my Beachbody coaching, and my business grows more and more because of that. So it's so important. So here's an example. This is one of the challengers that was in my challenge group, Michelle. She gave me permission to use her picture for this. But look at these results. Product of the product, right? She's now a coach. Who wouldn't want to follow that? It's unbelievable, right? There's in the final picture there, she's wearing the Spartan Race t-shirt. We did the Spartan Race together as a team. She never thought she could do a Spartan Race, and she did the Spartan Race, and it was unbelievable. I was so proud of her. So, she posts this kind of thing, and she's people want to know, what is she doing? And it's unbelievable. So that's just a perfect example of being a product of the product. Personal development, these are the first 3 books that I tend to recommend to my coaches. The Compound Effect talks about the effect of doing consistent small things over time every day, and how it leads to basically how those actions are compounded over time. Okay, The Slight Edge, another very, very popular book among Beachbody coaches. This one talks about how it's very easy to do certain actions, but it's also very easy not to do those actions. And it's about sort of readjusting your mindset and doing the things that you need to do every day to be successful. And then Go Pro. People come into Beachbody coaching, as Eric Worre says, as an amateur, as a poser, or as a professional. And it's actually quite amazing, the difference in terms of the approach that a poser has versus an amateur versus a professional in this business. And so if you haven't read that, I recommend that you get that. It completely changes your approach to how you go about talking to people about the coach opportunity and growing your team. And there are many, many other books, obviously, that I don't have time to put on here. All right. I'm going to spend just a little bit more time on the connect, invite vital behavior, because this is one that it seems to be that people struggle with a lot, right? It's relatively easy to say, yeah, I'm going to do my workout and drink Shakeology, assuming you've got the motivation, the drive to do that, as well, to pick up a book and to do the personal development, because you're in control of that. But now when you're connecting with someone or you're inviting someone, now you've got another person you're interacting with, right? And so that brings up the level of anxiety a little bit for most people. So how do you connect with people? Well, this is again something that I learned from Lindsay Matway. And what I would challenge you to do is to do this exercise when we're done here. Take out a piece of paper and write down, how are you similar to other Beachbody coaches, and how are you different to other Beachbody coaches? Okay, so if I sort of fill this in, so how am I similar to other Beachbody coaches? I imagine I'm probably similar to all of you on this call in this way, that I'm a Beachbody coach. I love Beachbody. I drink Shakeology. I'm adding coaches. I'm growing a team. I'm running challenges, and I sell fitness programs in Shakeology, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, can you imagine if I were to lead with that in my connecting with a person, or my posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media outlet you're using, whatever, and I put posts on about, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach. I'm running a challenge group. Come join me. How motivational is that? How good is the ability for me to connect with somebody doing that? It's not. The other thing is, it doesn't differentiate you from any other Beachbody coach, right? You're just the run-of-the-mill Beachbody coach, okay? And a lot of Beachbody coaches will lead with that, unfortunately. But if you take the time to figure out how you're different than the other Beachbody coaches, and I'll give you an example. This is sort of what I filled out for me, okay? So I'm married. I've got 2 young children. My family is my #1 priority. I'm a physician. I'm a teacher. I consider myself an entrepreneur now because of Beachbody. I used to be out of shape. My focus really is on inspiring people to get healthy. I don't like to come across as being pushy. I really value personal development. I love it when I see other people get amazing results. It's so rewarding to me. As I mentioned to you already, I'm a very analytical person. I enjoy playing hockey. I coach hockey. I coach my son's hockey team. I love doing that. I love the outdoors and camping with my family. I enjoy music. I'm a percussionist. I'm a violinist. So now, all of a sudden, I'm differentiating myself from any other Beachbody coach. And you can all do the exact same thing. And what you can do then is then you can look at this list and you can say, pick out maybe, I don't know, 5 things that you really are passionate about, and use that as a way to connect to people. So for me, I could go through this list and I could say, yeah, family is really important to me. So yeah, I like to post about the importance of family to me, and when I'm out, I'm out camping with my family. So the outdoors ties into that. The hockey I love doing. So the other day I put a post on, I was at my son's hockey practice, and there he is in his goalie equipment on the ice, and he was having a blast. And I took a picture of that. I said, I'm a hockey dad, and we're out in this practice at 6 a.m. in the morning. And what it does is it gets people to identify you for who you are. It helps you to find your niche, and there are ways that you can connect with the person. So I'll give you an example. I might see somebody's post about they were outside camping. And I comment on that and I say, hey, I saw that picture of you camping. That's fantastic. I love camping. Where'd you go? And they tell me about it and I say, that's great. I'm just sort of making this up out of the top of my head, but you get the idea. So, that's great. I haven't been to that site. Do you know any other good sites that are really good for kids? And you get into a genuine conversation. I'd love to know other sites that are really good for young kids. And then I say, do you enjoy any other outdoor stuff? Do you do these? Have you ever tried one of these adventure races? I like the Spartan race. And the conversation is not forced. It just flows from there. And then, so maybe it might lead into, adventure racing. Maybe they'll say, no, I haven't done that. I'm not in good enough shape to do that sort of thing. There is a natural way to bring up Beachbody. Oh, really? Have you ever tried to lose weight? Have you ever tried to get in shape? What have you tried? Well, maybe you'd be interested. I run these fitness challenge groups. Let me take that back. I don't necessarily use the word challenge groups because people don't know what that is. I run fitness online groups where I help to keep people accountable, help them get results. And it's a way to just naturally connect with the person and then invite. Okay? So hopefully that's a little bit useful to you. But the key thing is to really identify your brand, find your niche, and then you will naturally draw people to you. You will attract the people that have similar interests as you do. Big shout out to the hockey dads. Love it. Awesome. All right. So we'll go through these next 2 slides really quickly. So do not, hopefully this is obvious from what I just said, do not go out and mass message your friends. Send out event invites just randomly. Lead with your interests or try to sell people or promote products without using your own personal experience or story. What you should be doing is engaging in your friends' posts, show interest in what is important to them, have a conversation to find out how Beachbody can help them to reach their goals, and share your journey to inspire others. Okay, so hopefully that helps you a little bit in terms of ways to interact and talk to potential clients and coaches. Okay, let's keep moving here. All right. So how do you create momentum as a coach? This is a really important diagram, another important diagram that I just want to take a few minutes to explain because I think this is really key to your mindset as you go forward here as a coach. Everybody comes into coaching with some type of idea of what their potential is. So starting in that top left, okay? So you may have come in saying, you know what, maybe I'll make, I'll do it as a hobby. Maybe I'll make a few bucks here and there, and I'll see how it goes, okay? Maybe you've come in sort of with a little bit higher potential desires, and you want to say, you know what, I'm hoping that this will be a full-time thing for me, and eventually over time I can replace my replace my regular job, my regular income with Beachbody income. Maybe you are all in from day one and you're going to be one of the top 10 coaches and you believe that that is what your potential is, okay? What is important here is that regardless of what your potential is, you're going to take certain action based on what your potential is. So if you're one of those people that's coming and saying, yeah, I'll give it a shot and see how it goes, your action is going to reflect that, okay? And as a result of that, your results are going to reflect the type of action that you put in. And if your results aren't meeting your expectations, then your belief in yourself is not going to be as great either. And when your belief goes down, what you think of your potential goes down as well. And it becomes a circle, or in this case, a square, going round and round, where if you don't see yourself as having potential, you tend to take less action. When you take less action, you get less results. When you take less results, your belief in yourself goes down. And when your belief goes down, you believe you have less potential, okay? When you think of it the other way, or if you start instead of with potential, but start with your belief. And if you believe that you are going to be a successful coach, then naturally from that belief, if you truly believe that, then you will feel that you have great potential in this. And when you have great potential, you act like you have great potential and you take the appropriate action. And when you take that action and you are inviting people, you are seeing results. You will see results when you are doing the 3 vital behaviors appropriately. And when you see the results, that just reinforces your belief. And it works like that in the opposite direction. So I challenge you to not start with kind of where your potential is, but start with your belief. And you got to believe in yourself. And I'm telling you, like, I am being 100% honest with you here. When I started coaching, beyond any shadow of a doubt, I had absolute belief in myself that I would be successful at this. Now, I also knew very realistically that it was not going to come overnight, that it was going to take me time. And that is something that I was absolutely willing to accept, okay? But the key is I had belief that I was going to be successful at this. And because of that, my potential, I didn't even really know how big my potential could be. I just knew that my potential was great in this because I knew that I had I have what it takes to be a successful coach. And as a result of that, this guided my actions. I was going to do whatever it took to be successful. And then again, as a result of that, I started to see results. And again, at the beginning, the results didn't all come at once, right? And that was me being realistic. But I was taking enough action that I was seeing results, and that just reinforced my belief, okay? And I'll tell you something that happened to me, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, was in one particular week, I was actually named the 2nd top recruiter out of all of Beachbody. And can you imagine really what that did to my belief? I thought, oh my goodness, out of 225,000 coaches, I was the 2nd top recruiter? This is unbelievable. And so what did that do to my sense of what my potential is? Well, it just skyrocketed. It made me take more action. And as a result, I've had some of the best months ever because of that. And I'm seeing better results, and it goes on and on and on, okay? So I challenge you to start with your belief. And how do you do that? How do you actually increase your belief? Well, it all comes back to your personal development, right? If you're reading the right kind of things and you're improving yourself and you're learning how to be a better communicator, how to interact with people, how to become better at social media, you will have the belief that you are going to be successful. And that is why the personal development is so crucial to this. And then you go through and you think, okay, well, what else can I actually physically have control over? Well, you can have control of your actions, right? You can't necessarily control your results, right? The results come up from your action, but you can control your action. And that's where the 2 other vital behaviors come in. Be a product of the product, work on yourself, and connect and invite. And when you're doing that, you are taking action, you're seeing results, you're throwing in that personal development to increase your belief, you're seeing the potential for yourself going up, and it just continues to grow. So, and that is how you create momentum in this. It couldn't be any more simple, right? It's laid out for you. Beachbody has laid it out for you. That's how all these vital behaviors fit into creating momentum as a coach, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you. I think this is so important and so crucial to understand this concept, all right? Good. So we're going to move on from there. Okay, we got a few minutes late. I'm going to burn through this part. I want to talk a little bit about coach placement. This is very confusing, I know, for a lot of people. If this doesn't make sense to you the first time around, we're recording this and you can watch it again. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. When you start as a coach and you look at your graphical genealogy, that's what you see. You see you. You have a left leg and a right leg. Everybody has a left leg and a right leg, okay? What you don't see is that somewhere above you is your sponsor coach. They may be directly above you. They may be a couple of levels above you, but they're above you. And you are on your sponsor's right or left leg, okay? So that's the key. You're on one of your sponsor's legs. So in this example, you are on your sponsor's left leg. Now this may be opposite for you. And if you're not sure which leg you're on, you can ask your sponsor, okay? But in this case, you're on your sponsor's left leg. So when you add, let me take it a step back. So what you'll find on when you're doing this is that your sponsor will actually be building one of your legs for you in addition to other coaches that are in your upline. Because you are on your sponsor's left leg, when your sponsor places a coach on his or her left leg, it's going to go below you on your left leg because that is the next available spot to your sponsor on your sponsor's left leg. By definition, that makes it your strong leg because you actually have other coaches building that leg for you, okay? Which means that in this case, the right leg is the weak leg, okay? So when you add your first coach, you can put them on your right leg or your left leg. With this framework, what's important to do is, and there are exceptions to this, particularly with spouses and that sort of thing, but generally speaking, and you can get into more detail with this with your sponsor coach, but generally speaking, when you're building your legs, you want to place coaches on the outside of the leg. So if you're going to place a coach on your left leg, on your strong leg in this case, you would want to put it to the left of coach A and not to the right of coach A because you want to build the outside. And I'll explain why that's important as we go on. But basically, so you put your coach there, okay? And it's got a little PS because that's your personally sponsored coach, Coach B, okay? One of your first goals as a coach is to have one personally sponsored coach on your left leg and one on your right leg because that's what makes you emerald and opens up that whole level of team bonus compensation. So in this example, now you've got a personally sponsored coach on your left leg, but you need one on your right leg. So your next coach, you put it on your right leg, and now you've got a personally sponsored coach on each of your legs, and that makes you an emerald coach, okay? What this means, just as an example, is that as you build your weak leg, so as you are adding coaches below coach C now, again, you have the option of putting that coach on the left side of coach C or the right side of coach C, okay? But generally, we recommend you put it on the outside leg. So that would be the right side of coach C. And the reason for that is that then you are helping coach C to build a strong leg. In the case of coach C, their strong leg is going to be the right side because when you build your right leg, you are building coach C's right leg and they are having your help to build their right leg, which is their strong leg. And by doing this, always building the outside, each coach always has a strong leg that is being built for them. And there's a weak leg that they essentially are responsible to build. Now, having said that, as a coach, you do need to build both legs to a certain degree to be able to rank advance to certain to Ruby and Diamond and so on, okay? But keep this in mind that as you increase the ranks, you're going to want to actually build your weak leg more to balance the legs. So if we just run down a couple more scenarios here. So here's another one. The sponsor has added another coach, again, onto your left leg, your strong leg, coach D. Again, you'll notice it's on the outside from coach B. And in the next example here, so there you've added another personally sponsored coach onto your right leg or your weak leg, but notice that that is now placed under coach C's right leg, which is their strong leg. Hope I didn't confuse you. That's kind of the strong and the weak leg in a nutshell. There's a lot of other details and so on and things that you can learn about this. But as a new coach, what I would suggest that you focus on is just knowing which is your strong leg, which is your weak leg is good, but also knowing that your first goal is to get one personally sponsored coach on your left leg and one personally sponsored coach on your right leg, and that way you're an emerald coach. Okay? Okay, so last couple things I want to talk about. Success Club. Success Club is so important for your business, okay? So hopefully you're familiar with this. If not, Success Club points are earned every time a coach or a customer purchases Shakeology and Home Direct from you. In that case, you get 1 point. Or when they purchase a challenge pack, a coach or a customer. In that case, you get 2 points, okay? Beachbody tracks all of this for the purpose of statistics, and it has shown that people that are consistently meeting Success Club 5 or 10 per month, meaning 5 points in a month or 10 points in a month, have the greatest growth in their business, okay? In addition to that, obviously, they are helping more and more people to get fit, and they're developing that relationship with people that really start to see the value of Beachbody programs and the value of what we can offer. And that also, when people start to see that and they see how unbelievable these programs are, sometimes that alone will pique their interest in becoming a coach as well. Okay, so there's lots of reasons to make sure that you achieve Success Club. To be in Success Club, you need to have those 5 or 10 points per month, and then you need to have 90 personal volume home direct. What that means is that basically, if you're getting Shakeology every month, that counts for your 90 personal volume home direct shipping. Okay, so if you're getting Shakeology every month, then you already met that requirement, and you're looking to get 5 or 10 Success Club points. So, sorry, I see a question there. Should I be getting a sequence for every coach and HT every month? Just when they join. So it's just when they join, you get the Success Club point. Okay. So the other benefits of the Success Club, of course, as your business grows, as I said, statistics show that coaches that do this consistently see the greatest growth in their business. Okay. It's a really good benchmark to kind of know how you're doing. Okay. With Success Club, you also get exclusive customer leads and commissions. So what actually happens as you achieve certain ranks, Beachbody gives you customers. So it's those customers that have called in, they saw the infomercial on TV and they called in and they wanted to buy something, but they don't have a coach. They get assigned to you, okay? And as well as you meet certain criteria, not only do they get assigned to you, but in certain cases, you get the commission for that as well, okay? There's always monthly coach incentive programs. There are things like, wear and share apparel, Beachbody logos, that sort of thing. Personal development things. They've given away books. They've given away fitness equipment. And these are all nice sort of bonuses and things that make you feel like you're a valued part of the part of Beachbody. And they're very good at making you feel like you are valued. You earn, if you're successfully in Success Club, you have the opportunity to earn travel opportunities. So in the past, there have been paid trips for people that have been in Success Club to Bahamas, Disney World, Cancun's coming up. Beachbody rented out an entire cruise ship for one of them. So these are unbelievable opportunities. As well, during these trips, you get to be mentored by some of the industry's most influential experts. They have fantastic conferences. And you get to be recognized. There's a lot of recognition with this because this is a big achievement. It's something to be celebrated. But at the same time, I also don't think it's that hard to do if you're consistent with what I've been talking about. Okay. And finally, as a new coach, this applies to you. This is only eligible for new coaches. But basically, if you can achieve Success Club 5 or Success Club 10 in your first 3 consecutive full months as a coach. So, if you join somewhere in the middle of a month, that month, if you meet Success Club 5 or 10 during that half month, then fantastic. You're 1 month ahead of the game. But you technically can do that in the first full month, the second, and the third, and that would count for Success Starters. And what that means is, well, first of all, you get everything that I talked about with Success Club, but as a way to acknowledge the tremendous work that new coaches are doing, you get an exclusive conference call with Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, where he talks a little bit about his philosophies and gives you tips in terms of the coaching. And you get a free ticket to the Coach Summit, which is the annual conference that Beachbody puts on. This year it's in Nashville. It's sold out in the first weekend that the tickets went on sale. They're gradually releasing people off of the wait list. But this is one of the like best ways to actually get a ticket to go there now, because you can't get them unless you're on the wait list. So, so there you go. That's a very, very good incentive to hit Success Club starters when you're first starting out as a coach. All right. So I'm going to wrap up here. Taking all of this together, these should be your first 3 goals and your first 3 milestones. Okay. Talk to your sponsor coach. Get 3 people to join you in your next coaches challenge group with you as an apprentice coach. Okay. That's key. If you do that, and they've got challenge packs or Shakeology, you'll notice that if you have 3 people on a challenge pack, that's 6 points. So you will have met Success Club 5, and you will have your first month as a Success Club starter. Okay. So the second goal is to achieve Success Club 5 monthly, and do it in the first 3 full months to achieve Success Club starters. Okay. And then your third goal would be to reach that Emerald status, because that's when you can start collecting on your team bonuses. Okay. So getting 1 coach on each of your legs. All right. So with that, wow, it's just about an hour. I hope you found this useful. It's time to go out and truly change lives, because at the root of this, that is what this is all about, is having an impact on people, having the ability to connect with them, finding out what their struggles are, and really making a difference in their lives. And by doing that, by focusing on that, the income side comes from it. If you focus on the income, it doesn't work. But when you focus on really connecting with people and trying to do your best for them and help them no matter what, that's when your business truly grows. All right. So I hope that was useful to you. I hope that's inspired you to take your business to the next level. And if you have any questions, or you want to, send me a message on Facebook, whatever the case may be, by all means, I'm happy to chat with you. Okay. So thanks very much for your time. I know this is a lot of time, and I appreciate you putting in the time. I do truly appreciate that. And good luck, all you coaches. All right.